All right, I am in Google Gemini, and I'm going to show you how to create custom gems. So the first thing I'm going to do is expand the menu on the left. Those three horizontal bars are called a hamburger menu, and clicking on it allows you to see the rest of the stuff here. The first thing I'm going to do is click on this gems header. You might note that I have a couple of pinned things here that you likely don't have. Just ignore those. You can pin your gem once you create it. But once I've clicked on this header, I should see the gem manager. And up top are gems that have been created by Google, and below, gems I've created for myself. We'll expand this. What I suggest you do to kind of get a better feel for how gems work is we will just do this. We will make a copy of the brainstormer, and we'll look at the pieces here. So start off, we got a title, doesn't really matter. Make it something that makes sense to you, and that would make sense if it shows up in the sidebar there. Same thing with description. It's going to show up underneath the title here, and it's really more just functional stuff to help you, the human. The stuff that's going to matter for the AI bot is the instructions. So this is the main thing. And Google has suggestions around how to structure these directions. It focuses on persona, task, context, and format. It doesn't exactly follow those patterns here, but you can see that it's attempting to break things up. Purpose is the header, details underneath, we got a space, we have goals as the header, and then in this case they're using asterisks to delineate list items and working you through all of the pieces. Now, it has a helper here, which is a custom gem that you're not in control of, but one that Google wrote to improve instructions. So if I were to run it against these already Google created instructions, it's kind of interesting to see how it processes it, and we'll break down some of the changes here. Notice it worked in some semicolons, but a lot of the same thing. We've got headers. We have list items with asterisks in this case. What's worth noting is that for behaviors and rules, it got a little more sophisticated. We have numbers and letters, more traditional outline format. It can be easier for you as a human if you're writing these to do that in, say, Google Docs and then just cut and paste it in rather than trying to write it here and manually keeping track of things. So I leave that up to you about where it makes the most sense. The next thing as we move down is being able to set a particular tool. In this case, Google didn't set one for its brainstormer. You might, depending on what you're trying to do. For instance, I might choose Canvas if I was trying to create a gem that focused on code or longer types of writing. The same way, if I was just making something that makes images, I would select Create Image. Then we get down into knowledge. So this is information that's going to be preferred in terms of responses. It's going to reference this stuff first to give it priority. You want to be a little bit careful here about adding files. You can upload them, you can link from your drive, you can even connect in notebook LMs. But you're going to keep this, less is more here. So you can really bog down a gem if you're not careful, adding too much information here, and it'll result in weird error codes or just non-functionality. So just be cautious here. You want as little as possible. So just keep that in mind when you're adding to the knowledge base. Then once you've got all that set, you'll hit that save button, and then you'll be able to use it. Note here, for instance, I didn't add any collaborators or anything like that, so I can still go back here. I can say share. And here's a good way, if you're working on this as a group, you can add your individual students here and set them as editors. Also, when it gets down to it and you want to share this with people beyond as viewers, as people who can interact with the bot but not edit it, this is another way to get that link and pass it on. So it works a lot like, the Google Docs stuff that you're familiar with. But this is your opportunity to mess with that. And if I wanted to, I can also pin it here so it's more easily referenced for me. Hopefully that gives you a good start.